Deep in the heart of the countryside lay a small village. This village was named Sonpur. It was a quiet place, far from the noise of big towns. Green hills stood all around Sonpur like gentle giants. A clear river flowed nearby, its water sparkling in the sun. Tall trees grew everywhere, their leaves dancing in the breeze. The air in Sonpur was always fresh and clean. It was a beautiful place to live. People loved their village very much. The people of Sonpur lived simple lives. They woke up early with the birds, they worked in their fields and gardens, they grew their own food. Their homes were small and neat, made of mud and thatch. Children played happily in the dusty lanes. Old people sat under shady trees telling stories. Everyone knew each other in Sonpur. They helped each other always. Nature was their friend and their provider. Life in Sonpur was peaceful, but it was not always easy. The village was quite remote. The nearest market was many miles away. Farmers depended on the rain for their crops. Sometimes the rains came on time, sometimes they did not. This made farming a big challenge for everyone. The villagers faced these difficulties with courage. They worked hard and hoped for the best. They believed in looking after their land. Despite the hardships, the people of Sonpur were mostly content. They found joy in small things. A good harvest made everyone happy. A village festival brought smiles to all faces. They shared their joys and their sorrows. There was a strong feeling of togetherness. They had faith in God and in themselves. Hope was a little plant that grew in every heart in Sonpur. This hope helped them through tough times. In this village of Sonpur lived a farmer named Ramu. Ramu was a man of simple habits and a kind soul. He was not very tall, but he was strong from his work. His face was weather-beaten by the sun and wind. His hands were rough from holding the plough. He lived in a small, clean hut at the edge of the village. His hut had one room and a tiny kitchen. It was a very humble home. Ramu was known for his gentle nature. He spoke softly to everyone he met. He was always ready to help others in need. He loved the animals and birds around him. He would often leave out a little grain for the sparrows. He respected the earth that gave him food. He believed that the land was like a mother. It cared for everyone if they cared for it. He was a truly good man. His small piece of land was very precious to Ramu. It had belonged to his father and his grandfather before him. Ramu had tilled this land since he was a young boy. He knew every inch of his field. He loved the smell of the soil after the first rain. He felt a deep connection to his ancestral farm. It was not just a piece of land to him, it was his life and his world. Ramu did not have big dreams of riches. His wishes were very simple and pure. He wanted to grow enough food to eat. He hoped to have a little extra to share with those who had less. He prayed for good health so he could continue to work. He found happiness in his daily labor. He was content with what little he had. His heart was full of gratitude for life's simple gifts. Ramu's day always began before the sun showed its face. The first songs of the birds were his alarm clock. He would wake up, say a small prayer, and drink some water. The air would be cool and still at that early hour. He liked the quietness of the morning. It was a peaceful time to think and prepare for the day. He would look at the stars fading in the sky. He felt a deep sense of calm. Then Ramu would take his two strong oxen, Moti and Raja. He would gently lead them towards his field. His wooden plough rested on his shoulder. He carried a small bundle with his simple lunch. As he walked, he would observe the world around him. He saw the dew on the grass. He heard the leaves rustle in the morning breeze. He greeted other farmers on their way. His heart was light. In the field, Ramu worked with great dedication. He would guide his oxen carefully, ploughing neat furrows in the soil. The sun would climb higher, making the day warm. Ramu would wipe the sweat from his brow and continue. He sowed seeds with hope in his heart. He weeded his growing plants with gentle hands. He brought water from the nearby stream when the land was thirsty. His work was hard, but he never complained. As evening approached, Ramu would finish his work. He would pat Moti and Raja, thanking them. He would walk back home, tired but satisfied. His wife, Sita, would have a simple meal ready. They would eat together, talking about their day. After dinner, Ramu would sit outside for a while, looking at the moon. He would say another prayer before going to sleep. He rested, ready for another day of toil. Ramu worked very hard in his field every single day. He poured all his energy into the land. He followed all the good farming practices he knew. He hoped for a plentiful harvest each season. He dreamt of seeing his field full of healthy crops. He wanted to provide well for his small family. He was a truly diligent and honest worker. His efforts were sincere and tireless. However, the rewards for his hard work were often meager. The weather in Sonpur was very unpredictable. Sometimes the rains would be too heavy, flooding the fields. At other times, the sun would be too harsh and there would be no rain for weeks. These conditions made farming very difficult. Many times Ramu's crops would fail or yield very little. It was a constant struggle against nature's moods. Despite these setbacks, Ramu never lost his spirit. He did not let disappointment make him bitter. He always believed that things would get better. He had a strong faith in divine grace. He would tell himself, "God is testing me, I must keep trying." He would start again with renewed hope after every poor harvest. His resilience was remarkable. He found strength in his prayers. Even when he had very little, Ramu was generous. If a neighbor was in greater need, Ramu shared. He would give a portion of his small harvest to them. He believed that sharing brought blessings. His wife Sita supported his kind actions. They found happiness in giving, not just receiving. Their hearts remained open and compassionate. This goodness was a light in their simple lives. Section 5. A day unlike any other. One particular morning, Ramu woke up as usual. The air was fresh and the birds sang their sweet songs. He performed his morning rituals with a calm mind. He did not know that this day would be different. It started just like any other day in his life. He felt the same quiet hope he always carried. He prepared to go to his field with his faithful oxen. He walked towards his land, his steps steady. The sun was beginning to paint the eastern sky with soft colors. He offered a silent prayer for a productive day. He reached his field and looked around. The soil looked ready for his plough. He yoked Moti and Raja. They knew their work well. Ramu felt a sense of purpose as he held the plough. He was ready to begin his labor. The sun climbed higher, its warmth spreading over the land. The fields around him were quiet. Other farmers were also starting their work. The familiar sounds of village life filled the air. A gentle breeze blew, carrying the scent of the earth. Ramu was lost in his work, his mind focused. He guided the plough, turning the soil carefully. He was thinking about the seeds he would sow soon. He moved steadily across the field, row by row. The soil was soft in most places. He was making good progress. He felt the usual rhythm of his work. Chanting a small prayer, he urged his oxen forward. He hoped this season would be kind. He dreamt of a field waving with golden grain. Little did he know what awaited him beneath the very soil he tilled. Section 6. The Earth's Hidden Gleam. Suddenly, as Ramu ploughed a new furrow, there was a sound. His plough struck something hard under the earth. It was a dull, thudding sound, not like hitting a usual stone. Ramu immediately pulled back on the reins. Moti and Raja stopped patiently. Ramu wondered what it could be. He had ploughed this field many times before. He had never hit anything like this in this spot. A feeling of curiosity mixed with a little unease filled him. He unyoked the oxen and led them to a shady spot. Then he returned to where the plough had stopped. He knelt down on the soft earth. He looked closely at the ground. He could not see anything unusual on the surface. He decided to dig with his hands. He wanted to see what lay hidden beneath. He began to remove the soil carefully, handful by handful. The earth was cool and damp. After digging a little, his fingers touched something smooth. It was also very firm. He continued to dig with more caution now. A small part of something began to appear. It was a yellowish color. It seemed to shine even under the layers of soil. His heart began to beat a little faster. With gentle movements, he cleared more earth away. The object became clearer. It was not a rock. It was not a piece of wood. It was made of metal, a bright, shining metal. It seemed to be catching the sunlight. It had a warm, golden glow. Ramu gasped softly. He had never seen anything like it before. What could this be, buried so deep in his field? Section 7. A divine form, Lord Shiva's idol. Ramu continued to dig with trembling hands. His curiosity grew with every bit of soil he removed. The object was larger than he first thought. As more of it was revealed, its shape became clearer. It was not just a lump of metal, it had a distinct form. He worked slowly, afraid of damaging whatever it was. The golden gleam was becoming stronger. The air around him felt suddenly very still. Then he saw it clearly. It was an idol, a beautifully crafted idol. It was made entirely of pure, shining gold. Ramu's eyes widened in disbelief. The idol depicted Lord Shiva, the great god. He was sitting in a meditative pose. His features were serene and powerful. Even though it was small, it felt immensely significant. Ramu felt a shiver run down his spine. He was completely mesmerized. The golden idol of Lord Shiva radiated a soft, warm light. It seemed to fill the small pit with its divine presence. Ramu sat back on his heels, staring at it. He was filled with a profound sense of awe and reverence. He had found something truly special. He felt that this was not an ordinary discovery. It felt like a direct blessing from the heavens above. He was speechless. Overcome with emotion, Ramu gently reached out. He touched the cool metal of the idol. A wave of peace washed over him. He felt a deep connection to the divine figure. He carefully lifted the idol from the earth. It was heavier than it looked. He held it in his hands, his heart pounding. He knew deep within that his life had changed in that very moment. This was a gift from God. Section 8. The village awakens to wonder. Ramu wrapped the precious golden idol carefully in a piece of clean cloth. He held it close to his chest. He decided to take it home immediately. He led his oxen, Moti and Raja, back to his hut. His mind was racing with thoughts and emotions. He felt a mixture of joy, wonder, and a little bit of fear. What did this discovery mean for him? What should he do? When he reached his small hut, his wife Sita was surprised to see him back so early. Ramu showed her the golden idol. Sita gasped in astonishment. She had never seen anything so beautiful and divine. Together, they gently cleaned the idol with water and a soft cloth. It shone even more brightly now. They placed it on a clean mat in their small prayer corner. They lit a small lamp before it. News of Ramu's discovery traveled quickly through Sonpur. It spread from hut to hut like a gentle breeze carrying a sweet fragrance. Soon, a small crowd of villagers gathered outside Ramu's home. They were curious and excited. They had heard whispers of a golden god found in Ramu's field. They wanted to see it with their own eyes. Their faces were full of anticipation. Ramu invited them inside his humble dwelling in small groups. When the villagers saw the radiant idol of Lord Shiva, they were overcome with wonder. They bowed their heads in respect. Some joined their hands in prayer. They had never witnessed such a thing. They believed it was a miracle. They looked at Ramu with new respect. He was the chosen one, blessed by the divine. The atmosphere was filled with reverence. Section 9. Blessings of the Golden Lord. The village priest was called to Ramu's hut. He was an old and wise man. He examined the golden idol very carefully. He looked at its craftsmanship and its divine aura. After a long silence, he declared that it was indeed a sacred idol. He said it was a sign of great blessing for Ramu and for the entire village of Sonpur. He advised Ramu to worship it with devotion every day. From that day forward, Ramu's life began to transform. It was as if the golden Lord Shiva brought good fortune with him. The next harvest from Ramu's field was abundant. His crops grew healthy and strong. He had more than enough food for his family. He was able to share generously with others too. His struggles with meager harvests seemed to be over. He thanked Lord Shiva for his kindness. Ramu was no longer a poor farmer struggling to make ends meet. He became comfortable, but the newfound prosperity did not change his heart. He remained the same humble, kind and gentle Ramu. He continued to work hard in his fields. He used his extra earnings to help the needy in the village. He built a small shelter for travelers. His goodness shone as brightly as the golden idol. The golden idol of Lord Shiva became a beacon of hope for Sonpur. Villagers came to offer their prayers at Ramu's hut. They felt a sense of peace and divine presence. Ramu's discovery brought joy and unity to the community. His life became a beautiful story of faith, hard work and divine intervention. The blessings of the Golden Lord touched everyone in Sonpur, making their lives a little brighter.